On April 25, 2015, a magnitude 7.8 earthquake hit Nepal, a result of thrust faulting near the main frontal thrust between the subducting Indian plate and the overriding Eurasian plate. According to CNN's latest statistics, the death toll from the earthquake now stands at over 8,000.
The Indian plate is converging with Eurasia at a rate of 45 millimeters per year towards the northeast. This motion drives the uplift of the Himalayan mountain range. It is to no surprise that the area surrounding this plate boundary is subject to earthquakes. The motion of this diffuse boundary forms one of the most seismically active areas in the world.
The epicenter of this earthquake was approximately 80 kilometers northwest of the Nepalese capital, Kathmandu. The depth of the focus was 8.2 kilometers, and the initial impact was felt for about 50 seconds in Kathmandu.
You can see the extent of the devastation there, as the latest official figures we are receiving suggest almost 4,000 people were killed as a result of that massive earthquake on Saturday morning London time. We believe something like 6,500 people are known to have been injured, and these are just the official figures. These are the figures from the police and from the hospitals, so it is undoubtedly a figure that is going to rise significantly as aid agencies manage to make their way into the country. We're being told actually a lot of congestion at Kathmandu airport.
Though the plate boundary responsible for forming the Himalayan mountains is a major boundary, only 4 events of M6 or larger have occurred within 250 kilometers of the April 25, 2015 earthquake. The 2 largest both resulted in over 1,000 fatalities, and the largest, which hit Bihar in 1934, resulted in over 10,000 deaths. Why then was the death rate of the April 25th earthquake so high? A common saying of earthquake engineers can help us to highlight that answer. Earthquakes don't kill people, collapsing buildings do.
Overall, the population of this region lives in structure extremely vulnerable to earthquake shaking. Some, though feel resistant structure do exist. Nepal is a country whose population ranges around 27.8 million and has a relative GDP of 19 billion US dollars and can be considered relatively poor. Therefore, the predominant building types in Nepal are unreinforced brick masonry and rubble masonry construction.
Center of the capital, the ancient old Kathmandu, including this, the Darara Tower. It was reduced to a stump, and there are reports of people trapped underneath. These extraordinary pictures have emerged too, of what looks like a statue being recovered. But this is a man buried alive and pulled to safety. Many others haven't been so lucky. On Everest, climbers were sent running for their lives from base camp as the quake shook them from their tents and triggered avalanches.
Landslides can be just as deadly as the earthquake itself. Landslides can result in dams cutting off and relocating natural water supplies. This may cause droughts or flooding in areas already affected and suffering. Along with that, Nepal is in the section of the continent that is hit by monsoons each summer, and therefore unexpected dams can result in huge problems. To avoid future disasters, Nepal needs to implement landslide prevention measures. These measures include improving surface and subsurface drainage, removing the soil and rock at the head of the landslide to decrease the driving pressure, adding fill to the bottom of landslide-prone areas, and constructing piles and retaining walls. Along with landslide prevention, there are certain things Nepal needs to improve in order to avoid future disasters at this level. Some of the next steps include 1. Legislation. Administrative law needs to be set into place concerning land use, planning, and building codes. Architecture must be strengthened and enforced. With this, increasing awareness and providing information to communities about how to prepare for disasters and deal with disasters would provide huge benefit to those affected. Nepal should also increase the number of first responders trained in first aid for search and rescue, and the government should prioritize disaster risk management and commit senior level time and resources to it. Earthquakes cannot be foreseen or prevented, but the destruction of the impact can be decreased. Areas highly prone to earthquakes should have a plan long before the quake even hits.